Want to help support the channel and stick it to the man? Check out our new Robinhood We Steal from the Poor to Give to the Rich t-shirt, and we've also got masks and mugs. Every purchase supports the channel, and hey, you'll be protesting publicly. Click the links below for more details. Robinhood is getting sued by users for blocking the buying of GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, and a bunch of other stocks that frankly we didn't care about before this week. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to another stock video. Boy, this video, the funny thing is I could upload this afternoon, which for me is January 28th, but since we've already had 3 videos, it's coming up today, Friday morning instead. And yes, we will still be doing the aforementioned podcast later on, discussing the situation in details with a very special guest star. So keep up with that. But anyway, this I expected to happen because just a quick little recap for those of you who might not be paying attention, or maybe you're new to the channel. You've probably heard about the craziness going on with GameStop and AMC stock. Basically, a bunch of Redditors and Twitter users decided that they were going to screw a bunch of hedge funds who had bought big shorts on these companies and drive the stock up, where they not only lost a lot of money, but then, as users who were driving the stock up, they would gain a lot of money. And, the hedge fund members are calling foul. They're calling this as insider trading. This is illegal. I'm sorry to say, so far, from what it's been explained, it is not illegal. And in fact, the fact that the hedge funds are calling this illegal actually means that that's kind of ironic. Basically, during the podcast, we will explain what all this means. But one thing that did pop into my mind while this was going on is, well, okay, Robinhood is basically saying I can't buy more stocks. It's not completely freezing the options. I can sell the stocks, but without their ability to be bought on Robinhood, the chances of the stocks going up are a lot less likely, which means they could go down, which means I could be losing money. Therefore, it's encouraging me to sell my stocks. In fact, I had put a stop loss on AMC a while ago, and wish I hadn't done that, by the way, because it did trigger. And look, I did make money, but it went back up afterwards, and now I couldn't rebuy the AMC stock. So thanks, Robinhood. You really screwed me on that one. And by the way, Webull did this too. Webull essentially brought down the abilities to buy these stocks, but then I think that they released money. Well, anyway, I figured this seemed like market manipulation to me, and sure enough, at least one lawyer seems to think it is, because, there's going to be a class action lawsuit against the company. So let me make sure I have the right. This is the wrong article. All right, so yeah, there's a little mistake, a little gag, if you will, for all of you. Anyway, here's the real article from Engadget. Robinhood hit with class action lawsuit after it restricts GameStop stock. According to writer Carissa Bell, Robinhood can now add a class action lawsuit to its growing list of headaches after it said it would restrict users from trading GameStop and other stocks. A class action lawsuit was filed in New York Thursday alleging that Robinhood deprived their customers of the ability to use a service in an effort to, quote, manipulate the market on the behalf of people and financial institutions. And I want to comment on that very briefly, because here's the thing. I would probably be just a little okay with this if it was a free account. Hey, if it's a free account, then guess what? There's going to be some restrictions, especially when things are volatile, because you're probably joining it just for a little bit of fun. You might not be aware of what you're getting into. So, hey, if it's a free account, you're going to have this restriction. However, people like me pay for Robinhood. Not a lot, mind you. I pay $5 a month. But even people like me were restricted from buying these stocks. And my whole thing is like, well, wait a minute. I'm paying for Robinhood. By paying, I am kind of sending a message that I know a little bit more about how this works, hopefully, than the average person. And that by paying for the ability to have these perks and features and borrow money and things like that, guess what? I am taking on a little extra level of added responsibility. Why am I getting blocked? Like, what the heck am I paying Robinhood for if the ability to buy these stocks is going to be limited based on what the hedge funds want. Just something to consider. Anyway, continuing, the lawsuit comes hours after Robinhood informed users that it would restrict a handful of stocks, including GameStop, BlackBerry, AMC, and American Airlines due to, quote, recent validity. The company also said it would raise margin requirements for some securities, which that I'm not completely against, by the way. We continuously monitor markets and make changes where necessary, Robinhood said. A spokesperson for Robinhood declined to comment. Robinhood isn't the only firm to restrict trading on GameStop. Interactive Brokers, Webull, and TD Ameritrade, is that how you pronounce it? Have imposed similar restrictions. But Robinhood has drawn the most ire, likely due to its popularity among the Reddit day traders who fueled the unprecedented rise of GameStop to begin with. According to Motherbird, 56% of all Robinhood users own GameStop stock that they are now unable to trade, prompting accusations that the company is working to protect large financial institutions rather than small-time investors. And you know what? It's not an unreasonable claim, not after what happened. I mean, here's the thing. The stock just needs to be raised until Friday when the short actually kicks in, and that will cost a lot of money. So the fact that you can no longer buy the stock, but you can now sell the stock, that seems to suggest that Robinhood is trying to encourage people to get out of this, which is really not their place to do. It also caught the attention of several members of Congress who questioned the move. New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who sits on the House Financial Services Committee, of course, said she would support a hearing if necessary. Who's Ro Khanna? Let me just look at him real quick. He's Bridging National Divide, progressive, so he's, I guess, a politician. Anyway, he says, yes, AOC, we need an investigation into Robinhood app's decision and who influenced that, and this shows the need for financial transaction tax on a hedge fund shorting and SEC regulations on short selling practices. What AOC said was, this is unacceptable. We now need to know more about Robinhood app's decision to block retail investors from purchasing stock while hedge funds are freely able to trade the stock they see fit. As a member of the Financial Services Committee, I'd support a hearing if necessary. By the way, Ted Cruz and Donald Trump Jr. agreed with AOC on this, so you know that that's a problem. And by the way, Ted Lieu, another Democrat, said, why are brokerage firms like Robinhood restricting trading in GameStop? Looks to me like a fear of too much profit going to ordinary investors. Can you explain? And yeah, this has opened up so many questions. In fact, all of you, you know that movie, The Big Short? If you haven't seen The Big Short, totally worth seeing. Best Picture nominee. It won an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay, actually. And Christian Bale was awesome in that. So was Steve Carell. Anyway, that basically looked at the housing market crash. And these guys basically came together, saw that the housing market was about to collapse, and they created big bets to short the housing market. And bottom line, they made a huge payday at the bank's arrogance. Well, something very similar seems to be happening, except this time the shorters aren't winning. And much like that situation where there was a movie about the housing market bubble, there will probably be a movie about what's happening this week. So pay attention. This is history in the making. By the way, Mark Baum, the guy that Steve Carell played in The Big Short, he is one of the guys who's shorting GameStop and stands to lose a lot of money. So if they really want to, they could literally make a Big Short 2 about this very situation. Anyway, let's continue this. It wouldn't be the first time Robinhood has gotten into hot water. The company previously paid a $65 million fine for misleading users about its revenue sources. It's also faced questions about whether it does enough to educate young users about the potential risks of day trading. Now that final sentence might be the main reason. That's one of the main reasons this might be happening. Like, let's give Robinhood their day in court. I did share that story about that kid who unfortunately decided to take his own life because he was trading on Robinhood and he felt that he had squandered his life savings and owed millions of dollars. In fact, what's worse, he actually didn't lose much of anything. He just read the app wrong because the app was designed kind of poorly, and he took his own life. And so Robinhood is probably very cautious about situations like this. And here's the thing. I do have to acknowledge that, yeah, this is not long-term a good investment. This is a good short, if you will, in the reverse, where it's like, yeah, everyone's buying this stock. It's going up. So yeah, buy some AMC, buy some GameStop. I'm not saying you actually do this, but this is the thinking. And watch it go up a little bit. Like, hey, if you have a $300 GameStop stock, you may put $5,000 into it, and then the next day it's $500. Well, that's a great return. That is a great return, but that's not going to be like a long-term thing. And if you hold on to that too long, it can go way below what you paid, and you can lose a lot of money. So I'm not saying Robinhood is completely out to lunch on this one. Unfortunately, the timing of it is kind of weird. Right now, everyone is aware of what they're doing. These people know that they want to drive the stock price up. And here's the thing. I know that Robinhood might be trying to protect themselves. They might be trying to protect their users. But then at the same time, who's going to benefit more from this? It's going to be the hedge funds who stand to lose the billions of dollars if this thing stays high beyond Friday. And the fact that Robinhood was very specifically targeting the only stocks that people on TV were complaining about, it kind of makes you wonder, what is this about? This certainly seems like a situation where someone suggested to Robinhood that they take these stocks the ability to buy. And again, if they had taken away the ability to buy and sell, that would be one thing. But they only allowed the option to sell. So, of course, that's going to tilt the stock into a bad position where, of course, it's going to go down. Of course it's going to go down, because if it goes down, there's no realistic way for it to go back up when 56 million users can't buy it even. And shame on Webull for doing the same thing, and although I think, again, Webull lifted that restriction. But then it brings a bigger question, like, these are legitimate companies. GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, Bed Bath & Beyond. These are companies that exist. They're not scams. They're pretty straightforward people. They make a product, people buy the product, and then they make money. That's what they do. And is Robinhood now the arbiters of which company gets to be bought on the stock market? Like, what about the next time Disney soars? Disney stock is going to soar when the news that Disneyland comes out. Are they going to suspend Disney trading because too many people are buying the stocks? I thought that was the whole point of the stock market in the first place. You buy a lot of stocks and you invest in these companies. They want you to do this. Now, all of a sudden, it seems like they're not, because someone who basically bet against the companies cried mommy, and now, mysteriously, those stocks are no longer available to buy on Robinhood and Webull and all these other companies. I don't know. This is going to be very, very interesting, but we'll talk more about that on the podcast later tonight at around 4:30 California time. Hope to see you there. In the meantime, what do you think about this particular topic? I'd like to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, blame responsibly. Have a good one.